But she don't understand, and I tell people this all the time. She saved my life, whether she know it or not. And she doesn't even understand it. Sometimes when I tell her that, she's just like, why are you giving me this credit? I'm like, no. If it wasn't for you, I would be getting in trouble. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't understand the spiritual connection that I need to have with God. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even understand these things. She's taught me so much, and she don't even know, because she just has a humble spirit. So she don't even know that she taught me all of these things. And I tell people that all the time, and they're like, man, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, my wife is the reason why I really feel like, honestly, why I am the person who I am today. Because
will I ever get married? Will I ever meet the person who's meant to change my life for the better? Will God truly bless me here, now, tomorrow, maybe the next day? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyra Henderson, interpreter of African American history and culture, motivational and spiritual speaker. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you all saw that video that was called Relationship Goals is Reality, Part 1. And you listened to this beautiful couple talk about love, faith, and marriage, singleness, dating, all the adversities that they face. Today, you're going to hear from a very special couple and another good friend of mine and her loving husband as they talk about their journey to finding love, finding each other, and also finding God. You're going to also listen as to how they manage being a family because they have a beautiful baby girl as well. Now, as you listen to this couple go through the different phases of what it takes to be in real relationship, you're going to listen as to how they face their own reality and how you can make relationship goals yours as well. We're going to get ready to head in at this time, and make sure you all take a listen and grab your wine and your notebook because it's about to be good. Come on this way. Knock, knock, knock. Hello, girl. How are you doing? I'm good. All right. Good to see you, bro.
Hi, everyone. This is my handsome husband, my king, my everything. He's my provider and my protector, Sharwyn Mcgee.
hey, everybody, this is my loving wife, my everything, my soul, my rib, my everything, Kreneice Mcgee. Well, I got a real interesting story. How I met my wife. We went to college together, and I was a youngster back then. Didn't really have the wisdom that I had now. But I was walking out of the cafeteria one day, and that was like the spot that everybody hung out at. So I was walking out one day, and I just seen this beautiful, beautiful red-skinned girl that I never seen before. That was actually my first time seeing her. And when I seen it, it was like a spirit or something that was just telling me to say, "You're very beautiful." And when I seen it, I said, "You are very beautiful." That was my first words to her, literally.
Those were your first words.
You are very beautiful.
You tapped on me, and I turned around.
Tapped on it, and it was just like
Those
something.
his first words.
It was crazy because it felt like a spirit. It was just like something telling me, "Tell that girl that she's beautiful." And I was like, man, this is crazy. And it was kind of like a movie whenever I said it.
It was like time stop.
Like time stop. And she looked at me, and I looked at her. And I said, "This is a beautiful woman." And I just said, "Hey, how you doing?" I introduced myself to her. I was a youngster at the time, so I was just like, "Hey, how you doing? You're very beautiful, and nice to meet you." Introduced myself and things like that. So once I tried to get the digits, but she wasn't giving it to me instantly.
Actually, he didn't ask for my number, and I thought that was so interesting. It made me
the first time.
It made me more interested in him.
Yeah.
Because he said, "So how you doing? Can I walk into your dorm?"
Right.
I was like, "Sure." So he walked me to my dorm.
Right.
He was like, "Well, it was very nice to meet you." And I live this way. He just left, and I was like, he didn't ask for my number.
Yeah.
So he didn't get my number until like the third time that he saw me around campus.
And the crazy thing
He would just speak to me, and that's what made me interested in him.
And the crazy thing about it is, remember when I did ask for your number, The only reason I got she wouldn't give it to me.
Yes, I didn't give him.
Only reason I got her number because you invited me to a church event and they changed the location.
He was like, I really want to hang out with you. I said, well, if you want to hang out with me, you come into church. I was like, I'm gonna be at this building at this location at this time, and if you want to hang out with me, meet me there.
Right.
And so I went to the building, and it was a sign on the door saying we've moved the location. I was like, dang. Now I have to give him my number. Now I have to text him and let him know that the location has changed. And now he's gonna have my number. I was like,
yes. Thank you for the location change. You know what I'm saying?
And when we were in church, in the gym building, and we were sitting off in sections, and in each section, everybody in the circle had to pray. And so when he walked in, everybody else had already prayed. Right. So as soon as he walked in and sat down, it was, okay, sir, it's your turn to pray. He was like off guard. Yeah. And he gave a really nice prayer. And I was like, okay. Yeah. That's what made me interested in him even more, because I knew he had a relationship with God.
Yeah. You know, and it was just, man, like I said, when I met this girl, you know, she's always been the same person, and something about her, she was very different from any other girl that I had met before. You know, just she was pure, you know, and I think that kind of made me so attracted to her. I was like, man, this is the most purest girl I ever met. And you know, I was a young guy coming up around that time, and I was, you know, different. You know, I didn't really. She pretty much taught me pretty much about morals and things about life that I never learned before. So, no, and that's why I always tell fellas all the time, get you a woman that has a spiritual connection with God, so she can be able to feed off that, you two can feed off that spirit, because that's important in a relationship. Without God in a relationship, there is no relationship. So I think when I met her, she was very different. And I said, you know, I never met a girl who, you know, had a strong relationship like that with God. You know, most of the time, coming up, the girls would, you know, they were worried about going to the club, doing this and doing that. She was different. You know, she was a homebody. You know, the things that she did, you know, she didn't want to go out, and that's just that's how I am. You know, I don't really like going out too much, and I noticed that about her. So when it just was something about her, man, that really just drew me into her. And ever since then, we've been rocking, man. This is my love, my queen. You know, without her, I can't do nothing.
Dating was very exciting. Like, right. It was so fresh and so new, and you know, he was a city boy, and you know, we in Mississippi in the country, but you know, he was just, I don't know, he's the love of my life.
Yeah, it's just some things that she taught me, and I give her credit, but she don't understand. And I tell people this all the time: she saved my life, whether she know it or not, and she doesn't even understand it. Sometimes when I tell her that, she's just like, "Why are you giving me this credit?" And I'm like, "No. If it wasn't for you, I would be getting in trouble. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't understand the spiritual connection that I need to have with God. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even understand these things." She's taught me so much, and she don't even know, because she just has a humble spirit. So she don't even know that she taught me all of these things. And I tell people that all the time, and they're like, "Man, that's crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, my wife is the reason why I really feel like, you know, honestly, why I am the person who I am today, because of her." I give her the credit, God, of course, but my wife had something to do with that as well. She changed me. She made me into I was a boy, and, you know, she turned me into a man. You know what I mean? Even if it was things, she telling me things I didn't want to hear at the time, but she always had, it was for the betterment of myself. You know what I mean? She would never lie to me. She's a very honest person, and that was something I respected, because, you know, sometimes we don't want to hear things, but she would tell me things that's going to better myself. And I took it on, and, you know, I said, you know what? She's telling me this is the truth. And I said, you know what? I'm going to better myself and do what I'm supposed to do. And ever since then, man, you know, we just, man, you know, it's like we have a bond that can never be broken. This is my best friend. Man, dating my wife was definitely a beautiful thing, because I think at the time I was playing basketball, and
you've been playing basketball all your life.
Yeah, pretty much. Then, you know, when we had met, it was like like refreshing, you know, just to be around somebody with a different mindset. And we had fun dating, man. You know, we would do things like go out to eat, just do things to get out the house, and we just, you know, be sitting there talking, having the best conversations. So, you know, dating for us was really
we had
fun.
Really deep conversations. And it's always like that in the beginning. The beginning was so exciting because it was fresh, it was new. I was always thinking about him when I wasn't doing my schoolwork or whatever. I'm like, okay, I need to text him now. What is he doing? When is he gonna call me? I always wanted the phone. When the phone rang, I wanted it to be him. So it was very fun dating him.
Yeah, it was exciting because it was like, you know, and it's crazy because when I would go home and stuff, when I go to my dorm, you know, literally just chill out for a second. I'm like, hold on, I gotta see what she's doing. You know, we finna go hang out. You know, it just was something like I always needed to be around.
We vibed very well with each other. We just needed to be around each other. We really grew a friendship. We were best friends right from the jump. Like we spent all our time together.
Yeah. Well, you know, and one of the main things I believe that really drove me to her was just seeing how caring she was and how much big of a heart that she had. And I think that was one of the main things because I have a big heart, the type of person, I'm very genuine. And she matched that energy. You know, I would just be like, man, she would give me her last and I would give her my last. So when I seen the type of person she was and she really had a pure heart, it really drew me to her like, man, I never really met a woman like that. And that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, she's gonna be the one. She's gonna be my wife one day. And I remember we went to the park.
We was at the park. It was night.
We was at the park that day. And I just remember myself, I'm like, listen, we need to make this official today. So we went to the park, you know, nice little scenery. And I said, I looked at her in the eyes, you know, directly in the eyes.
You did.
I said, will you be my girlfriend? And I was serious. And I looked at her and I think she kind of felt this seriousness.
Yeah, he was very serious.
It was like a spirit. Like I'm very spiritual. It was like a spiritual thing for us. And I looked at her and I said, you be my girlfriend?
And I said yes. I was mentally prepared to enter a relationship.
Yeah, she was.
Because before I had met him, I was just focused on school, going to church, my career, not my career, but what I wanted to do in life. Right. I was just very, very focused. I had gotten out of a relationship about a year prior to that. Right. And I was just focused on me. I was working out every day and I was just at a good headspace. Right. So I was ready to be able to enter a relationship. So when he asked me, I was ready by that time. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. You know, he was somebody I was very attracted to. I adored his energy. I adored him. And I was ready.
Yep, and we've been rocking ever since, and we won't stop, man.
Mm-hmm. It was November 2013.
It was 2013.
Yeah, I remember the month.
Dates. Yeah, it's real.
The relationship that I was previously in, I felt like he wasn't there for me when I really needed him. One of my close friends had passed, and he didn't comfort and console me. He wasn't there for me like I needed him to be there for me. And then after that situation happened, I started having panic attacks, and he didn't know what to do for me. He didn't step up to the plate. So when I got with my husband and I experienced similar situations, he always knew just what to do. He was like my savior. I don't want to use that word because, Jesus is our savior, but he was like my knight in shield, my knight in armor, and that is what made me feel protected and safe. I felt secure when I was with him. Being single, for me, I enjoyed being single. I feel like when you're single, you have to really fall in love with yourself, get to know yourself, get to know what ticks you off. You need to know who you are as a person, because you're going to be putting yourself in a relationship and they're going to have to deal with you. So you need to know, your buttons. You need to know everything about yourself. Absolutely. And I was just very focused on just working out, going to school, going to church, just really focused on me.